Good evening and welcome to the Alzheimer's Association Jubilee 2021. I'm Maureen McGuire and I'm joined tonight by Teresa Galbier, the Executive Director of the Alzheimer's Association. Hello.
Hello, Maureen, and thank you so much for having us on the show this evening. Thank you for your incredible friendship over the years and for being our MC. And a special thanks to News 8.
We have a lot of questions for you right off the top, so let's begin. Most people don't know about the Alzheimer's Association until they need help, until they have a loved one who's been diagnosed with Alzheimer's or some other form of dementia. How would you describe the association's work to someone hearing about this for the very first time?
That's a really good question, Maureen. The Alzheimer's Association is the world leader in care, support, advocacy, and research. But our impact is so much greater. Our team of staff and volunteers offer valuable programs for those living with Alzheimer's and other dementias, their care partners and teams, and the professionals providing care and support working in community-based and long-term care settings. We are here as partners on the journey, and we are here for those who are diagnosed with Alzheimer's and for those who care about them. We truly believe that there are ways to live a good life with dementia with the proper care and support.
In all of our years working together, I know that one of your greatest concerns is all those families out there who become isolated from this disease. What would you tell them?
Maureen, I've been a part of the mission of the Alzheimer's Association for the better part of 20 years. When I first joined this cause, families were so afraid to talk about the disease. They were uncomfortable sharing their concerns about their loved ones who were showing some signs of Alzheimer's disease. But so much has changed. A pivotal moment in our history came when President Reagan publicly announced his diagnosis to the American public. The door was open for others to be able to share that they too were impacted. Television shows and movies began to include the topic of Alzheimer's in their storylines. Celebrities came forward to tell their stories. Then news networks and television stations like yours began reporting on Alzheimer's science. The medical community was invited to come into your studios to talk about advances. And more people began phoning us round the clock to become educated about how to respond to the changes that they were seeing in their own loved ones. More and more people developed the courage to speak up about living with Alzheimer's disease. Our local Alzheimer's Association started an early stage advisory council, one of the first in the country where people with dementia shared their voice, led programs, and influenced legislation that would benefit our cause. As a result, Alzheimer's disease became more present in pop culture. You saw storylines on television shows with characters developing Alzheimer's themselves. Over the past 10 years, we've seen 2 movies, Still Alice with Julianne Moore, and most recently, The Father, starring Anthony Hopkins, win Academy Awards.
Yeah, that's a good one. When you face the diagnosis of Alzheimer's in your own family, you start to notice how it's talked about by other people. And it still amazes me that people believe Alzheimer's is just a fact of aging.
Maureen, this is one of the most common misconceptions people have about Alzheimer's disease. It's true that we may slow down both physically and mentally as we age, but losing one's short-term memory is not a normal part of aging at all. What people once called senior moments could be something so much more serious. An example that we often share is that Alzheimer's is not about misplacing your car keys. Many of us do that. Some of us do it more than once. It's about holding the keys in your hand and not knowing really what those keys were for. That's why we encourage people to call us when they notice changes in themselves or their loved ones. And when they reach us, our team of master's level social workers will encourage a follow-up visit to their physician, where they will receive a comprehensive series of tests to determine if it's actually Alzheimer's and to rule out potential other causes that might be showing some of those warning signs.
Teresa, thank you. Thank you for everything you do for so many countless families across the region, and most especially thank you to the Alzheimer's Association. In fact, if you would like to donate to the Alzheimer's Association, which can't do its important work without you, just follow the instructions right there on the bottom of your screen. In the meantime, we want to tell you about Jim Walter. He is the board chair of the Alzheimer's Association, and he recently invited us into his home to tell his own family's story.
My mom, Becky Walter, was diagnosed with younger onset Alzheimer's in 2014. As a family, there were some symptoms and things that we noticed long before then, but it did take until 2014 when my dad was able to get an amyloid protein scan done for her brain that they were able to make the definitive Alzheimer's diagnosis.
I remember very distinctly waking up on June 10th and saying, I need to do something. I've done as much as I can, and what we're doing right now is not the best situation for my wife or the best situation for me. Shortly after we got here, my daughter Jessica had done some research and found that the Alzheimer's Association had a number of support groups. There were two in particular, and I still attend one of them. One of them was for caregivers of younger onset Alzheimer's patients, which my wife fit that definition. The other group were men, men caregivers for their wives or mothers or whoever, but just it was a men's group.
About 2 years ago, when we moved back here to New York, when my mom's disease had really progressed to the later stages and we were needing more help, and the Alzheimer's Association was a great place for us to turn to find resources, to find support, and to find the help that we needed for my mom.
As the chair of the Rochester Finger Lakes region, I'd be remiss if I didn't ask for your support. We are making tremendous progress. This disease affects between 5 and 6 million people, and many, many more when you think about all of the families that are involved. So we have an opportunity here to make some real progress with your help.
As you just saw, services provided by the Alzheimer's Association can ease the challenges of caring for a person living with Alzheimer's disease or other dementias. In fact, studies have shown that these services, available free of charge to our community, can actually delay a person from having to move into a long-term care setting like assisted living or a nursing home. Tonight, we ask that you consider making a gift that will support the services provided to our community. You can call the number or visit the website listed on the screen to make a tax-deductible donation that will have an immediate impact on the lives of Rochesterians, just like the Walters family did. Additionally, we would like to thank our generous sponsors for their support of this evening's broadcast and for their years of partnership with the Alzheimer's Association.
The first person to survive Alzheimer's disease is out there. They're going to hold on to everything the disease steals away. That smile they can't hide. That dance class they love. Every single piece of them is going to make it through. And the Alzheimer's Association is going to make it happen by funding research, advancing public policy, and spurring scientific breakthroughs. And by providing local support to those living with the disease and their caregivers, we're easing the burden for all those facing it until we accomplish our goal. Alzheimer's disease has devastated millions of lives, but that's all going to change when we reach the first survivor. But we won't get there without you. Visit alz.org to join the fight.
My family experienced Alzheimer's disease firsthand. My father, Denny, lost his battle with Alzheimer's in 2016, and my mother was his primary caregiver. She advocated for him when he lost the ability to do so for himself. I can't imagine what we would have done without the Alzheimer's Association, who supported us every step of the way. The Alzheimer's Association team provides so much more than an informational brochure. As you'll see in this next segment, they take the time to discuss what's happening, what you should expect in the future, and they work closely with you to find solutions to overcome the caregiving challenges you may be facing right now.
On the day my father died, his body was brought to the University of Rochester for an autopsy of his brain. It was his wish to help researchers unlock the mystery of Alzheimer's.
These are amazing individuals and what they have volunteered to do.
Dr. Anton Thorstensen was my father's doctor. He also oversees the local arm of a groundbreaking study called the Alzheimer's Disease Neuroimaging Initiative, also known as ADNI.
Here you have a brain of an individual that has very mild symptoms.
ADNI uses MRIs, PET scans, and even spinal taps to track the progression of Alzheimer's.
ADNI is one of the great studies in medicine. This is a study that will be referenced and talked about for the next 100 years.
I want you to tell me as many of the words as you can.
There are 60 ADNI sites in the U.S. and Canada. For the past decade, they've been following more than 1,000 patients. These volunteers include people whose memories are normal, those who have mild impairment, and those with Alzheimer's.
3, 2, 1, go.
Every year, they submit to memory tests and brain imaging. Researchers compare and contrast the groups to see what sets them apart. The goal is to predict who's at risk of developing Alzheimer's before they have any symptoms.
It's easier. It's easier to prevent damage than there is to repair damage. And that is where ADNI comes in as basically the core of the foundation that we built on.
It feels like, to me, that I'm fighting Alzheimer's.
Cynthia Hewling-Hummel is one of 60 people in the local ADNI study. She signed on in 2011 when she was suffering from mild memory impairment. She has since been diagnosed with early-stage Alzheimer's.
I was trying so hard to cover up for my memory losses. I wrote down everything, I checked it off, but I couldn't keep up with it. It was exhausting. You have to move from why me to what next. And so one of the things that has helped me do that is being in the ADNI study. The results from my brain scans, my tests, that will help all the researchers to fight this disease.
Matt and Dad, look over here.
In my father's final months, he struggled with basic life skills and language, but he never stopped telling us he loved us. And it turns out that was his main motivation for taking part in ADNI.
Was it easy to recruit him for the study or not? Did he take some convincing?
No, he did not. He was amazing. His thought was, even if this is not going to make a difference for me, this will make a difference for other people that will follow, and particularly my family. That was his, that's what he mentioned every time, consistently over the course of 5 years.
Because of the ADNI study, doctors can now diagnose Alzheimer's with more certainty, and they're using ADNI data to search for treatment to beat it. About half of the volunteers in Rochester agree to a brain autopsy upon death. My father was one of them. The results, together with his history of brain scans, will help tell the story of Alzheimer's. It was his hope that it end with a cure.
No two families have the same experience with dementia, but the skilled staff from the Alzheimer's Association are there to examine your individual situation and guide and coach you. You're not alone on this journey, and help is always just a phone call away at its 24-hour helpline, 800-272-3900. You can help us to assure that these services will always be free by making a donation today. Call the number or visit the website on the bottom of the screen. Every dollar raised funds the work of the Alzheimer's Association as it works to achieve its vision of a world without Alzheimer's disease and all other dementia. And we can make those dollars go even further tonight. Some very special donors from this community who wish to remain anonymous have committed to matching each donation made this evening, dollar for dollar, up to $3,000. Your $50 donation will become $100 if you pick up the phone or visit our website now. It's such a terrific opportunity to make an even greater impact, but you have to act now because this match is only good during this evening's telecast. Your generosity can help provide more than 30 support groups that take place throughout the month in our 9-county Finger Lakes region. These confidential gatherings provide an opportunity for caregivers to come together to learn from one another and share experiences from their caregiving journeys.
My husband is having trouble changing the channel on the remote.
I tried making my famous chicken recipe, but confused the steps.
My dad is trailing off in the middle of his sentences.
Mom said she isn't in the mood to see friends and would rather be by herself.
Occasionally, I have something to say, but the word I want is lost and comes out wrong.
Don't mind me, I'm just a bit lost in thought.
Alzheimer's disease is a fatal progressive brain disease with no known cause, prevention, or cure. The Alzheimer's Association fights on behalf of the 6.2 million Americans living with Alzheimer's, their families, friends, and caregivers every single day. This valuable organization has been at the forefront of every major research discovery since its founding in 1980 and is the global leader and driver of dementia science. Without a prevention or cure, education is our best weapon in the fight against Alzheimer's disease. The Alzheimer's Association provides free educational programs, from introductory programs to help the public understand the basics of the disease, recommending solutions for behavioral and communications challenges, to specific programs that focus on each stage of Alzheimer's disease. In the last year alone, more than 12,000 individualized services were delivered throughout the chapter's 9-county region. Even in spite of the pandemic, the team of staff and volunteers found innovative ways to reach out to those who needed them, to offer virtual programs, and to spend countless hours on the phone with families, assuring them they did not have to travel this journey alone.
No individual or family should navigate the challenges of dementia alone. So that's why we are here to support you and your family. And this is done by our free service that includes a 24/7 helpline that is 365 days of the year open. We also have one-to-one care consultations for families affected by dementia. We are having support groups right now. This is done by Zoom or phone. And social activities for individuals with dementia as well as their caregivers. And also, most importantly, our education programs for families, professional caregivers, and community organizations. Now, I cannot leave without talking about how do you get involved to be a volunteer at the Alzheimer's Association. And this could be done by being a virtual community representative, program tech support, virtual community educator, as well as a support group facilitator. And if you want to be an advocate for your family and people living with Alzheimer's or dementia, we invite you there as well. And also for fundraising such as Walk to End Alzheimer's. And this can be found on volunteer.alz.org. Or you can call, again, the 1-800-272-3900.
Educational programs, like all of the care and support services provided by the Alzheimer's Association, are offered free of charge to the community. Tonight, we're asking our viewers to take a stand against Alzheimer's disease and other dementias by making a gift to this valuable community-based organization. Your gift will help fund care and support services, as well as research that will bring us closer to a cure. You'll see a phone number and website at the bottom of the screen. You can call us or visit our website to make your tax-deductible gift. And thanks to the generosity of a local donor, every gift made this evening will be doubled up to $3,000. Your gift of $25, $50, or $100 will become $50, $100, or $200.
June is Alzheimer's and Brain Awareness Month, the time of year when the Alzheimer's Association builds concern and awareness nationwide for the impact of Alzheimer's disease on our community. There is no way to prevent Alzheimer's disease, but science has given us glimpses of hope. One way to potentially reduce your risk of developing Alzheimer's disease and other dementias is by making dietary changes that are both brain and heart healthy. One of those steps includes adopting a Mediterranean diet, rich in fruits, vegetables, and healthy fats, such as those found in olive oil or omega-3 rich foods like salmon. In our final segment, Executive Chef Josh Cook from the Hyatt Regency Rochester shows us how easy it is to prepare tasty meals that are good for both the heart and the brain.
Hello everyone, I'm Josh Cook, the Executive Chef at the Hyatt Regency in Rochester. I'd like to thank you guys for inviting us to your virtual event. Tonight we're going to sear for you a piece of salmon, and we're going to make a green salad with some tomatoes and some blueberries. So we have some kosher salt, some garlic cloves, some chiffonade basil, basil and rosemary sprigs, a piece of Atlantic salmon, some lemons, some arugula, some kale, heirloom grape tomatoes, and some blueberries. All right, so we're gonna put a little salt and a little pepper on the salmon. So we're gonna sear the salmon. You're gonna wanna let it sear on one side for about 2 minutes. With a nice flip to the other side, and then I'm gonna crush a couple cloves of garlic, throw some herbs in there, a little bit more oil, and then we're just gonna baste the fish to finish cooking it and infuse the flavors of the herbs and the garlic. Let that go for another 3 minutes and you should be good to go. Alright, so then we're going to take the arugula, some cleaned fresh kale, sliced in half blueberries, some heirloom tomatoes just cut in half, a little bit of fresh basil, a little salt, fresh ground black pepper, lemon juice, and some olive oil. Toss that together. Put your salmon on there with it. I'm gonna give a little fresh squeeze of lemon juice over the salmon. Finish it off, just a touch of basil. Right, we decided to pair that for you with our play on an Arnold Palmer. We have some hibiscus tea and some unsweetened lemonade. You can make it with some sweeteners if you'd like, you know, Splenda, or you could brew the tea with some honey into it. We're gonna go for this, we're gonna go 3/4 of the hibiscus tea and then 1/4 of lemon juice. Now you can alter the amounts for however you like the tartness, but that's what we're doing today, and there you are. Enjoy, everybody.
Good evening, my name is Stephanie Johnson, and I'm the Vice President of Manufacturing for Wegmans. On behalf of more than 50,000 employees of Wegmans, it brings me great pleasure to be the first to congratulate the Alzheimer's Association Rochester and Finger Lakes chapter on 40 years of incredible service to our community. Wegmans is proud to sponsor an affair to remember the 40th anniversary gala of the Alzheimer's Association, which is taking place November 4th at the Hyatt Regency Rochester. All the proceeds of the evening's event will go towards local programs and services in Alzheimer's science. It will be an honor to help make this celebration successful. I'm truly humbled to have had the opportunity to chair this important event. To learn more about the gala, call the number on your screen and ask them to include you in our mailing list. We do hope that you can join us as we continue to fight for the day that we can all come together and celebrate a cure for Alzheimer's. Thank you.
Hi everybody, this is Reverend Dr. Cynthia Huling-Hummel of Elmira, New York, and I just want to give a shout out to the Rochester and Finger Lakes chapter of the Alzheimer's Association on 40 years of serving our community. Thank you for all you are doing to support those of us who are living with Alzheimer's and other dementias and supporting our care partners. God bless you all.
What a thoughtful team. Thanks.
Congratulations on 40 years of truly outstanding service.
Happy 40th anniversary, Alzheimer's. Great job as always.
Thank you, Alzheimer's Association, for 40 years of service.
As our evening comes to a close, I want to take a moment to extend my sincerest gratitude to you, the viewer, for taking the time to join me, Teresa Galbier, and Stephanie Johnson as we showcase one of our community's most valuable treasures, the Alzheimer's Association of Rochester and the Finger Lakes. I hope that you found this event meaningful. And I also want to extend my thanks to Jim Walter and his family, Cynthia Huling-Hummel, and the others who selflessly shared their stories to raise awareness about the mission of the Alzheimer's Association. I'm quite certain that their stories touched you as much as they did me.
We have so much hope that the first survivor is out there, Maureen. Yeah. In the meantime, your support is more crucial than ever so that we can continue to be here for those impacted by Alzheimer's and those who care about them. Individuals and families who contact the Alzheimer's Association will always be welcomed with compassion and care. The organization's services are available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, through its toll-free helpline at 1-800-272-3900 and our website at alz.org/RochesterNY. There you can learn more about education and support opportunities taking place right here in the Rochester and Finger Lakes area. We mentioned earlier that we have our gala on November 4th this year at the Hyatt Regency Rochester, and I would like to invite you to be our MC for that evening, Maureen.
It would be a privilege and an honor. Thank you.
We are so grateful, and there'll be some surprises in store for you that evening as well. So we can't wait for the day to be able to celebrate everything that the association has done for our community, but celebrate your friendship and hopefully get closer to celebrating a cure.
It will happen, I know it. And there's still time to double the value of your gift if you contribute now. Simply call us or visit the website below and donate. Every dollar you donate has a powerful impact on our community. Your gift not only supports essential programs and services, but helps to fund the scientific community in cutting-edge Alzheimer's research that will offer us a prevention or cure for this devastating disease. On behalf of my friends here at the Alzheimer's Association, I thank you for joining us and for your incredible support. Have a good night.
The Alzheimer's Association is grateful for all those that have made this evening's program possible.